Welcome to the Blue Collar Roofing Podcast. Today we're going to talk about what it's like from the roof to the office, from the office to the job site, and why we do what we do and what makes us good at what we do. We're going to start off, go around. Brandon, tell us your role and what you do.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Brandon Reckline. I'm a roof specialist here on the Blue Collar Roofing team.
Good morning. My name is Eric Hale. I am the sales manager, roof specialist, also a licensed home inspector here with Blue Collar Roofing.
Good morning. I am Brittany Kiss, and I am client relations with Blue Collar Roofing and Community Outreach.
And I am Kevin McClin. I am the owner, and today I'll be hosting this podcast, and this is my first time, so bear with me. At Blue Collar Roofing, our values aren't just words on the wall. We live them. We have 5 core values that we live by, we implement in our work, and it's just really a part of who we are. Can somebody tell me what's your favorite core value and what it means to you?
Yeah, one of my favorites is neighbors, not numbers. So, we put the community first, not just in roofing, but the community as a whole, from giving back to organizations like Feeding Little Tummies of Manatee County to really taking care of our neighbors here locally. Our goal is to help people to get the roof over their head done accurately, correctly, and at a fair price. So we're really here for the community, not just in roofing, but really overall, whether it's events, sponsorships, sponsoring causes that are really important to us as an organization and as a community.
One of my favorites would probably be the work hard, pray hard. I live by that every single day. It takes strong faith to go out and be a face for the community as a resource. And it really just sticks with me, and I value that. We're a Christian-based company, and I love that about us.
I'm going to go with earn it every day, especially when you have that hurricane setting. You have a numerous amount of people calling in, and you're trying to reach as many people as possible, sometimes up to 20 people in one day. But earning it every day, doing right by the community, that one really speaks strong values to me.
Can you tell me one thing that you implement in your daily life to help you achieve that core value each day?
Having a really good schedule put together, making sure that you're following up with the people that you need to follow up with, also prioritizing. If someone has wood showing, you almost got to treat it like a triage. If someone really, really, really needs attention right now, you have to set that up and really go out and earn it, show that you have their trust and the respect from the company.
Sure. Eric, what about you? What's something you do every day to really achieve your main core value?
Yeah, it's really about trust and communication, and really for us here, we're an open book. Mm-hmm. Another core value we have is straight talk, no BS. And that ties into really the neighbors, not numbers piece, because we're honest. Being honest is a rare quality in the world these days, and it allows us to earn the trust of the homeowner. We tell homeowners a lot of things that a typical roofing company doesn't tell you, because we want them to be informed. Whether they go with us or not, we want to leave them informed and educated and let them know that we're here for them to help them. If they choose another roofing company and it happens, we still inform the homeowner. We've prepared them with better decision-making and better knowledge to understand what they're dealing with their issue, as opposed to just going in, trying to sell them, and then parting ways. We often keep in contact with clients that we don't end up doing the work for, but we've gained such trust with them that they're often reaching out to us in the future on another project, because even though in particular price is a lot of people's main point, and maybe we couldn't get to the price that they wanted based on their project, but their next project, they didn't get that same feeling from the other company they used. They didn't get that trust. They didn't get that loyalty. They really didn't get that feeling that they got when dealing with us on a very intrapersonal level. And roofs are a big deal. It's a roof over someone's head. It's their house. It's their livelihood. It's their family. So really showing them that you care and taking the time. This is not a smash and grab operation. We're sitting down at kitchen tables. We're going through things. We're talking about not just their roof, but their family, their life, what's important about their project, to really earn that every day and show them that we care and we show them a level of trust.
And just to piggyback off that, and you guys have had this, I know it. How many times have you had that customer that didn't go with us? And then when the project gets done, they call you and said, I should have went with you.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, real quick.
I love and hate that phone call at the same time, because they didn't do what they said they were going to do. We had everything put in play, but still, and I have gone out to projects and looked over other people's work just to show them, yes, look, they did do this correct, or no, look, you might want to call them back just for X, Y, and Z. Just to have that peace of mind. This is how I would have done it, and this is how we would have done it. It's put it out there.
I guess for me, that's a knife in the chest, because when you get that phone call, it's like, man, I wasn't good enough at my job.
Sure.
To show you that, we was the right choice. And now you're calling me saying, yeah, you was right, but what could I have done differently to prove that to you initially?
Yeah.
So it sucks, but, it happens. And you learn from it and earn it every day. You get better and better every day.
Yeah. I love the fact that, at least even if they don't go, they still have that information, the education part of it that really just kind of opens their mind to, okay, how do I want to move forward when this happens again? So
y'all have hit on our other core values. So I'm going to talk about results, no excuses. Being the owner of the company, things come up, stuff gets broken, and it's not intentional. We do everything we can to, protect people's property, and we want to treat everybody's home as if it were our own, and sometimes things just happen. It doesn't matter what company it is, what industry you're in, you're going to have things that happen. And I instruct all of our guys to, if there's a problem, to get in front of it. Don't be reactive and wait for the homeowner to find out that we ripped a pool screen, or, we scratched their driveway, or whatever we did. We want to bring it to their attention right away and get in front of it, so that, we're open and honest. Hey, look, we did this. We're going to take care of it. We're going to make it right. Versus having the homeowner come at the back end and say, oh, you guys did this, and letting them find it.
Right.
And part of that comes on being a good leader and making it clear to your help that, hey, when you mess something up, it's okay to come to me, because if they mess something up, I don't want them to be scared and like, oh, damn, I messed this up. I don't want to tell Kevin because I'm going to be in trouble. That's not how we do things. If you mess something up, you come to me, we'll take care of it. I always say it's just a part of doing business. You're going to have mess ups. So that's results, no excuses. We always strive to do what's right and do it from the get-go and be proactive instead of reactive, versus, on every situation. So we're going to do a hot seat session. I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and let's see how this goes. So some common questions that we hear all the time. I'm going to just fire them off to you. I'll start with Brandon, Eric, then Brittany. So how long does a roof replacement take?
It really depends on what kind of roofing system you are having installed, and also your location. So if we're going shingles, 2-3 days. If we're going tile, 3 to 4 weeks. If you're going metal, about the same, depending how everything goes. Also, weather permitting. We do live in Florida. It rains a lot. And when you also have the patchy rains, that gets a little sketchy as well. TPO roof, that can vary as well depending on the size of the structure, and how big the commercial building is. So you really just have to know how long an install is going to take based off of what material is being put on the home or the structure.
Okay. What makes blue collar roofing different, Eric?
We're honest. We're open and honest. Our core values is really what separates us. What makes us different, like you just touched on earlier, we get ahead of it, and that's really impressive to a homeowner, to have us bring that issue to their lap. Hey, I want to let you know we made a mistake, but we're going to take care of it, whether they noticed it or not, because in today's age, when you're dealing with contractors, whether it's roofing, whether it's anything, people are full of excuses, right? We don't pose any excuses. We tell you if there's a problem. We tell you if everything's going great. So really the over communication on every facet, there's very few roofing companies where they can call the office or talk to Kevin directly or speak to Melissa, Brittany in the office, speak to someone in permitting, our production manager, Elizabeth, who's fantastic. So the communication really is what separates us. You hear too many times of, I can't get a hold of anyone, I can't, we also understand that when you get your roof done, it's an important project for the client. So answering those phone calls when they have questions outside of normal business hours, showing up on a Saturday or Sunday, that's what makes us different. We don't shut our phones off. We don't run away from problems. We understand that it's a large construction project to put a brand new roof on or do some serious roof repair. So being transparent, being honest, if you have a problem, we show you exactly what's wrong. There's nothing hidden. We're an open book. If there is no problem, there's many a times all of us at this table have told homeowners that have had several other roofing companies that have come out and said, oh, you need a new roof. And we go out and say, this can be repaired. Or, you know what, your roof has a couple more years left. If you don't have any active leaks, you've got a couple minor things, but really you're okay. And that is just unheard of in our industry and our business, being that honest, open communication and transparency.
All right, Brittany, do we offer financing or paid at close option?
Absolutely. So we have a Hansify, that is a third party that we would allow our clients to go through the process to see if they have a financing option available for them. And also, absolutely, we would, say it again.
Paid at close option.
Yes.
Yeah. So for realtors, they have a seller, and it's got an old shingle roof, old tile roof, whatever it is.
Yeah. And
they have to replace it for closing, prior to closing, but they don't have the funds. But they will at the closing table. In most cases, we will do a paid at closing, and we'll just put that in our terms. In our contract, and we'll go ahead and get the roof done for them. That way they have a smooth transaction. The realtor looks like a rock star because they found somebody to take care of the roof. The home or the seller's happy because they're able to sell the house and go through with the deal. So it just makes for a smooth transaction, and everybody's happy all the way around. We end up getting the roof job, so it works out for all of us. Brandon, what should I expect during a roof inspection?
So during a roof inspection, there's actually kind of various different inspections, especially for realtors, or if you just have someone that just wants to check out their roof after a storm setting. But obviously, we're going to go check it out. We're going to get in the attic, see if we have any wood that is showing any kind of damage, any signs of aging, any red flags that needs to be addressed right away. Or just something needs to be looked at that could be a potential future leak or problem. But we're going to get on the roof. We're going to check out every ridge, every roof to wall, the field, even every facet, every pipe, gooseneck, you name it. But you're going to get a full-blown inspection on the whole roof, not just one section. Even when I run my appointments for a repair, I check out the whole roof. I want to be preventative, and if I have to do some preventative maintenance for the customer, I want them to have everything in front of them so there's no surprises.
So you take pictures and all that?
I take a whole bunch of pictures. I go over them with the potential customer or whoever called us out, just so they can see it in person as well. I'm also able to make a report and have it put together with my findings. If this is good, this is bad. And if this is bad, this is why. So there's no questions asked. Everything's out in front of them.
And to piggyback off that, I mean, we use technology and experience. Our sales reps here at Blue Collar, we are training 24/7. We are learning as much as we can. So we're just not a pretty face that shows up and has a sell sheet and says, hey, this is what it is. When we do an inspection, we are going through everything top to bottom. We use infrared technology to be able to really pinpoint an active leak. So we're not blindfolding a quote. We're not guesstimating on everything. We are finding the issue, or we're showing the client that they don't have an issue because maybe they were misled, or maybe whatever the case may be. But we do everything top to bottom. Brandon mentioned photos. We use an app and a system called Company Cam. What that allows us to do is provide the client with a link that is forever available to them. From the inspection photos, where we clearly outline all the issues or non-issues on the roof system. We use drone technology to get overhead views. There are some issues that you need a higher up shot to get to. There are some areas and some roofs you can't walk on. So we're able to get high definition 4K video and photos, and then provide the client a portal and a link through the entire process. We also prepare before we go out. We pull the permit. We understand the project of what we're looking at before we get there. Maybe the roof was partially redone, but our sales team is knowledgeable about roofing. They care about the client. We go through everything top to bottom, like Brandon said, from the attic to the roof. We're measuring things. We're educating the client and then providing them with a link. And whether it's a repair or replacement, that client has that link forever. Whether they sell their home, they can see all the work that is done from the inspection start to the final end of their project. They have all those photos and videos that they can file away and keep for their records as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Brittany, you do a lot of networking. You're out in community events, all that kind of thing. What are some common questions that you get when you're at these events from homeowners, from realtors, really all walks of life? What kind of questions do you get?
One of the big questions are our guys in-house? That's a huge question. So I'm always proud to say that we have a crew in-house. Another question I get a lot of times is, how do we identify leaks? So that's very exciting that we have this technology to be able to just show the homeowner exactly where the root of the problem is coming from. And
hold on, before you go, let's go a little bit deeper into that.
Absolutely.
How do we identify leaks? Just both of you guys can fire off. Brandon, you start. And you can piggyback off of it.
So first off, let's just do a real life situation. Yesterday, we were called out for a leak. The first thing I do is go in the house, spot where it is in the house, because I don't want to blindly climb to your attic looking for something that I don't know where it's at. So, and I get touching points of visuals of what part of the house it's at, what it's over, where the vents are connecting into that house. So as soon as I'm in the attic, I can redraw that room in my head that I'm in this room in the correct spot. I have my infrared camera. I have my flashlight, of course. And I'm able to visually see, and it's different on day to day if it's raining or if it's dry. Obviously, if it's raining, it's going to be a whole lot easier to find it. So I have the infrared camera and I can scan the plywood. When I'm looking at the plywood, you'll see all the hot areas because your attic's hot. And then you'll see a nice little darker blue color approach. And that's going to be your leak. And usually if it's in a spot that's not your typical cold area, because your AC is going to turn up blue as well because it's cold. But that right there you're going to be able to pinpoint it. So after I see that, I get my photos. I get the photos on infrared and just regular photos. I will go on to the roof and inspect that whole area and see where that leak could be getting drawn from. Are you missing shingles, or do you have cracked tiles? Do you have some older tiles that have maybe from the storm have chattered its way up and now the screws are leaking?
So basically use a process of elimination.
Absolutely.
You have a little list that you kind of go down and check everything first.
Every single time. It's the same concept. If I have to pull measuring tape as well, my goal is to find that.
You mean you have a measuring tape?
Absolutely.
You don't do everything on satellite?
No. We don't need to do satellite.
I thought measuring tapes was a thing of the past.
A lot of people say that it is. And a lot of people rely too heavy on technology where this is a blue collar job. You have to get your hands dirty.
Sure.
You have to get in the attic and sweat. Typically, I would like to do it in the morning, but if I have to go there at 2 p.m. or so, it makes for the bad rest of the day, but it's worth it when you can come up with the problem and have the solution for the customer.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Actually finding the real solution instead of going in blind. And then there's certain situations where you may go to a job and you don't know where the leak's at, and you can't find it. You do a water test, spray water on the roof for 30, 40 minutes, and you still can't find it. And then the next huge rain we get where it's, a 2-day soaker, and they're like, oh, it's still leaking. And you go out to the job and you find, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
So that does happen, but for the most part, we try to pinpoint exactly where it's at. It don't always work out like that, but that's what we try to do.
Yeah, I mean, you're always chasing a leak. Water's going to go where it wants to go. You just have to find it.
Yeah, I mean, that's where, us having the experience and using that infrared. So infrared technology, it doesn't tell you that there's not an indicator that says bing, 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 there's water, right? What infrared does is it tells you the difference in temperature. And infrared can, it tells the difference in temperature. It can go through the drywall, so it can see through the drywall. And that technology also allows us to scan the whole rest of the house. If it's a large tile roof and they've got a couple water spots, we can identify other areas of the roof, which help us pinpoint it. But that camera really allows us when it's wet. Now, if we've had no rain and they knew they had a leak last year, but we went months with no rain, so finding that leak, the camera's not going to do you any good. Right. But now that moisture is present, that really allows us to. I was at a job, and I was the third roofer to come out. And the 2 previous roofers said, I can't really tell you where the leak's coming from. Okay, and it's been raining. And so we did process of elimination. So where it was coming from, the infrared camera showed me exactly where the water was because it wasn't staining the ceiling yet. And that's what's important about the infrared is, even before the staining and the water spots show up in the ceiling, right? Whether it's leaking through a bathroom vent or a ceiling vent to where they know they've got a leak, but it's not really present in the home, visually in the home yet. This infrared stuff allows us to see that there's moisture trapped in there. And then if we can get access to the attic, then it'll show us on the plywood, it'll show us a difference in temperature. And really what separates it is water shows up typically about 10 degrees cooler on a surface. So understanding the technology and, infrared's almost like a cheat code a little bit. It really allows us to pinpoint. But I'll tell you this past week where we've done, as a team, probably 20, 30 roof inspections, we every one of the sales team, we were able to identify exactly where the leak was. And every homeowner said, you're the only one to tell me exactly and show me exactly where the leak was. Everyone else is just kind of shooting blind. And they're saying, well, it's this area. And that goes back to us neighbors versus numbers. We don't want to give you an inflated quote. We don't want to give you hey, I think it's this. Right. Our job is to show you to secure that trust. And that plays a huge factor in us tracking these leaks down because some of them are tricky. They run down beams, slopes of roofs, but when we can pinpoint that moisture on the plywood and the drywall and then take the measurements, and whether it's via drone or getting on the roof and really also having that understanding of what we're looking at. That's why having ongoing training and development with our team is so important because there is always something to learn in roofing. People always ask like how far our calendar is. So how far out are we?
It's more how fast can you get it done?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How efficient. Right?
I don't care how far out you are. Just how quick can you get to me?
Me, exactly. No, that's a question.
What if
common question.
To pay more money to get done quicker? What do we do in that situation?
I don't think
I will answer that. We're not going to jump line.
I don't think I've seen that before.
Yeah. But we do get that. We do get that question. Oh, what if I pay more to get it done quicker? It don't really work like that. What we can do, if you have like a bad leak or something, we can send someone out to tarp it, to prevent any water from coming in until we can actually get out to do the repair. But that comes back to our core value, neighbors, not numbers. We're not going to move aside a smaller job because you have a little bit more money and you want to pay extra to get it done. Yeah. So we're just not going to do that. We can tarp it in the meantime, but if you want it done and you want it done tomorrow, we're not your company. Because we're not going to, we're not going to do that to our other clients.
Right.
We give out a schedule. It's hard enough to keep the schedule as it is. Yeah. With weather and this and that and the other. You open up a roof, there's a whole bunch of bad wood. Now it takes an extra day, and Then the day after that, it rained. So now you're 3 days out. And then, oh, by the way, we got a customer that wants to pay extra to get it done. So now you're moving them even more. Like, we're not doing that. It's hard enough to keep the schedule as it is. So we're not going to do that. All right, let's get real. Why do you love working at Blue Collar Roofing? And what core value does the company portray the best?
I'll go first. So why? Why do I like working at Blue Collar? First off, the owners, Kevin and Melissa, are just nothing but amazing. They've also been in the business and they've been in the community long enough to show that they are true members of the community. When you show up to work, you're greeted with a smile. Kevin, at least once or twice a week, just messages you out of the blue, "Hey, how can I help you? Do you need help with anything?" That's amazing to me personally, that a owner that has hundreds of other things to do is just taking that brief moment just to check on you to make sure that you're taken care of. And sometimes I say, "No, I'm doing great." Or other times, "Hey, actually, I do need your help." And he will stop and give you that help. That really goes into the no BS. There's no BS in the company. If there's a problem, it's time to figure it out. Ask Melissa. That's her favorite thing to say. Figure it out. And we all stop and figure it out. It's a teamwork makes the dream work type environment. And I'm super grateful for that.
And I will say that Melissa's favorite line is "FitFo."
Yeah, that one. I couldn't figure it out.
It's not just at work; it's at home too. Yeah. She's very stern.
I love it.
But Eric, why do you love working in Blue Collar Roofing?
So when you think about where you work and what's important to really anyone in any industry is you want to be proud about where you work.
Absolutely.
You want to feel good about where you work, regardless of your position within a company. You want to know where you stand. There's nothing worse than working for a company and being like, "I don't know if I'm doing a good job." No one's communicating. And the only communication you have is when something goes wrong. We celebrate our successes and we tackle our mistakes and failures together. You know, we are a unified team from the ownership to Ivan, who's driving the trucks around, running supplies to our team. We are in this together. Every job on the planet, there's going to be mistakes. And with roofing, there can be mistakes, expensive mistakes, silly mistakes, a million mistakes, but we learn from our mistakes. We are built up from making mistakes, and we are built up from our successes. So knowing where you stand, getting that straight talk, no BS, not being afraid to fail forward is one of my favorite quotes, right? Fail forward. That's how you learn in life. You learn in life by making mistakes and failing forward. If you continue to make the same mistake over and over, that's called stupidity. And eventually that works itself out, right? But, you know, in an industry like this, having a company that really values you, we created these core values and we surround ourselves with like-minded people, right? Excited, positive, community-driven, faith-driven people that we all want to be here, you know? And when you're at a job that you want to be at, that speaks volumes to your employer. That speaks volumes to the ownership team, to where everyone that works for us, they want to show up every day. They want to earn it every day. They're not afraid of making mistakes, because when you're afraid of making mistakes, you're going to continue to make mistakes because you're fearing the repercussions. Mm-hmm. Here, we make mistakes. We talk about it. There's no secrets. There's no, you know, we're not ostracizing someone or saying, "Oh, look at you. You do this again, you're fired," right? It's, hey, let's learn as a team, and our own mistakes help us build us up as a team, right? Mm-hmm. Regardless of your skill set, regardless of whatever industry you're in, ours being roofing, mistakes are going to happen. There's going to be a fat-fingered keystroke to where, whoops, I ordered too much. Whoops, I didn't order enough. Oh man, I made this mistake. But learning from those mistakes and not getting beat down and accosted for mistakes, and then having the team be comfortable enough to go to the ownership and say, "Hey, I messed up. I'm going to take ownership of it. And having Kevin, who's about as lovable as you can get, just says, all right, let's figure it out. Let's tackle this together. Okay. And maybe that mistake cost us a couple grand. It happens, right? But making that mistake, and that makes, when you work here, you want to work even harder to prevent that mistake. You want to work harder to go out and earn it every day for the people sitting next to you. And knowing that if I do my job good, okay, we're celebrating as a team, the better I do at my job, the more work the crew has, right? The more money the company makes, the happier we can be to buy more equipment and technology, and to watch us grow as an organization, and really all of us arm in arm moving forward as one. We don't leave anyone behind. Right. And if you get left behind, it's because you don't believe in who we are as a company. And that is valued, and that's why I enjoy being here every day.
So I'm going to add something to that. You said something, everyone wants to work here. And I want everybody that works here, I want them to want to work here. I want them to come into work, because it's very important. If, we're in the service industry, and if somebody comes in and they don't want to be here, we have to deal with homeowners. That's going to show. Our homeowners are going to feel that. They're going to see that if you guys come in and you go to an appointment, you don't want to be here, you're not going to give them the time of day. So it's important that we pay our guys well, so that they want to work. They want to come to work. They don't want to speed to get stuff done and just, get it done as quick as possible. They're taking their time. They actually care because they want to be here. And that translates to a roof repair, a new roof, because they're not paid just for speed. They're paid to care. They take their time, and it really shows in the work.
I can piggyback off of that. Just being with you guys as long as I have from the very beginning. Kevin and Melissa invest into their team, and it goes to show, and honestly, for my own personal growth, I can truly say that they laid the foundation for me to achieve it. So super grateful for you guys, and just happy to be a part of the team.
I just want to add this because we're on a podcast. Britt is the oldest employee that we have, or not the oldest. She's been with us the longest. I said that wrong. I said that wrong.
She might be the youngest and the longest tenured employee.
Oh. All right.
And I ain't going nowhere.
All right, now we're gonna loosen up a little bit. Do quick answers.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Brandon, coffee or energy drinks?
Energy drinks.
Eric, favorite lunch spot near the office?
The grandma's Thai truck, which is stashed on 30th Street. It's amazing.
Is that the name of it? Grandma's Thai truck?
I forget the name. It's like
we're giving
Mama
a shout
something.
out here.
It's like an 80-year-old Thai woman with a little Thai food truck, and it's right around the corner from the office.
Is that where you bring the noodles in and it's all sauced up?
Oh, it's
Is that where you get your pad thai?
Yeah, I mean, I have a pad thai addiction, so I can rate the pad thai like Dave Portnoy rates pizza throughout the Bradenton, Sarasota area.
All right, funny. Brittany, funniest team member.
Oh gosh, okay. Probably Eric when he gets in his starts doing his little impersonations.
Oh my God, like Peter Griffin?
Yeah.
I should show up to a roof appointment and be like, hi, I'm Peter Griffin. I'm here to take a look at your roof today.
He really does do that. So
It is so fun. Oh, and another, on the crew side of things, there is a class clown, and I'd have to say Check A is definitely one of those class clowns at times. He's a goofster for sure. So.
All right, describe blue collar roofing in one word, Brandon.
Oh man, one word. My vocabulary is not as extensive as other people's. So
it's all right, bro. We're roofers.
We're roofers. Simple,
we're not,
yeah.
Right? It's not rocket science. Just amazing.
Okay.
Eric.
Awesome.
Brittany.
Okay. Now
Wholeheartedly is the word that came to me. So.
Wholeheartedly. Okay. Yeah. In our group chats, what's the number one emoji used?
The heart.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna say the heart.
I would have to agree. I think so.
I was gonna say I always use the gif of Frank the Tank, Will Ferrell, just that's my go-to.
So Eric likes gifs. He's always posting
Gifs are the way to go.
Yeah.
You can really translate the emotion and energy behind the clown inside. But yeah, it's probably the heart, and I like the touchdown emoji, the 2 hands up.
Oh yeah, me too. I like that one.
Is that what that means?
Like,
I don't know. It's 2 hands up. Like yes.
Oh.
Let's call
like,
it.
I thought it was
yeah,
crazy.
that's the one. That's like,
That's what I thought.
I thought it
then
was
you know
fun.
the one everybody says is praying hands.
Yeah.
That's supposedly
Yeah, high five.
high fiving. So,
Oh, really?
like, yeah.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
I don't know anymore. Like it.
Yeah.
It depends who you ask on the situation and the time of day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the worst roofing weather?
Besides hurricane weather, like, or
When it's 105 degrees outside and
Yeah.
you can't breathe. No, when it's pouring. Hurricane season.
Well, yeah. To
Where it's
do
patchy.
any work is when it's pouring. That's the best time to inspect roofs. In the attic's the coolest, but yeah, I mean when it's dead hot, humid, and it's 95, feels like 102, and you got to get in that attic. And I mean it's a great weight loss program. Don't get me wrong, but for inspections but yeah, I mean where you've got wind and torrential rain and downpour, and you've got to do that. It's obviously you can't work in that weather period.
I'll lose about 10 pounds in the summer just from climbing through attics.
Yep.
Yeah, don't take long. You can bring a change of clothes, or at least at bare minimum, at least a couple shirts, right?
Yeah.
Stick of deodorant.
It
in
will
the
let you
door.
know whether or not they need.
That's mandatory.
The attic will let you know if they do need additional ventilation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's weird because sometimes I've been in a couple where they have spray foam, and I know spray foam is awful for your roof system, but they are so cool. It's
it cool.
beautiful.
You're
to
just
get-
like you're in the house.
You can go up in
The
there and
attic's
hang out for a
cool.
minute, like, oh, this is great. Yeah. I wish they all felt like this. But
That's funny.
all right, well, I guess let's wrap this up. You got any closing messages?
I do. I want to go back to also like another reason to work at Blue Collar. As a person that has been in the roofing industry, and I use this out in the field as well, is who actually holds the license. There's not many roofing contractors out here where the owner is the license holder for that company. So even our proposals that we show that Kevin, the owner, is the license holder, he actually took the time to do the work, put in the work for the testing, pass all that stuff with flying colors, and be the proud license holder of his business. That speaks volumes.
And I will add to that. I'm not just a sales guy that studied a book and passed the test and got a roofing license. I'm an actual roofer, so when problems come up, I'm able to assess it, come up with a solution, and I'm well versed in all systems. So there's really nothing roofing wise that can come up that I can't take care of. So I think that means a lot because there's so many roofing companies or roofers that got into roofing sales. They started making good money, and they're like, I could do this for myself. And then they start a company, and then they have no idea of what they're actually doing. They know how to quote a roof, but they don't know how it's put together. Mm-hmm. They don't know different situations, different flashings. They depend on sub crews to know how to do it. But what happens when they hire a sub that doesn't know what they're doing? It becomes a problem for them. And that's not going to happen with us. So,
And I will say, to toot Kevin's horn here, it's
toot it, baby, toot it.
I've seen Kevin address issues as the owner on a Sunday, get on a roof and do the work. We had a client where we just done their roof. It was Sunday evening, and the client it was on Mother's Day. Sunday evening, the client says, "I've got a leak. You just put a new roof on. What is going on?" Kevin messaged me, said, "I'm on my way. Can you meet me there?" Kevin and I, on Mother's Day, about 6 p.m., we climb on the roof. We happen to know it was a manufacturer's defect on one of the vents. Kevin is up there as the owner on Mother's Day, repairing this vent, sealing this vent until we can come out and change it out. You find me another roofing company that A, is even going to answer your call or text on a Sunday, and B, have the owner climb on your roof and repair it Sunday evening on Mother's Day. Good luck.
The answer to that is you won't.
You're not going to find it. But Kevin,
That's true.
Kevin can do the job. He can do your roof. He can repair your roof. And that is unheard of. People are often amazed that A, they can get Kevin on the phone, that Kevin knows what he's talking about, being the license holder and being an actual roofer. We are third generation roofer. That is Kevin being a third generation roofer. But Kevin shows up as the owner, where 90% of owners are at a desk or drinking mojitos on Siesta Key. Kevin is on the roof. He's on the roof with the crews. He's driving around delivering Gatorade to crews. So you want to know other reasons why I work here? Right. Is when the owner is on the roof on a Sunday evening on a holiday, fixing a client's roof we just did, find me another one.
I can piggyback off of that a little bit. Like, you know, I'm in the community a lot. So, you know, like you said, you want to be proud where you work, right? Through and through, I am proud of where I work. I have you guys that back me up, you know, when it comes to assessments, any problems. There's not a time I can't call Kevin in the middle of the day and say, hey, I need help with this, or hey, I have a question about that. Always answers. So yeah, I'm just really proud to be a part of the team and have the mentors that I have in my life to further me down the road in roofing.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here and doing this. I'm Kevin, and thank you for joining the Blue Collar Roofing Podcast.